This 80-year-old woman dolls herself up just to catch the eye of young studs on the street. When cornered by a thug one day, instead of showing fear, she shockingly plants a kiss right on him. Disgusted, the thug slaps her across the face, but she clings to him like a woman possessed, terrifying his buddy who takes off running. But the truly disturbing behavior is yet to come. When a handsome guy shows up looking to rent a room, she immediately prepares a thoughtful breakfast. While pouring his coffee, she deliberately licks the spoon before stirring his drink. She serves it to him, watching with girlish delight as he unknowingly drinks coffee mixed with her saliva. Even more revolting, while he's eating, she sneaks into his room and rummages through his personal belongings, deliberately marking everything with her scent. Finally, she grabs his toothbrush, sniffs it, and puts it straight into her mouth, fantasizing about him with a look of twisted pleasure. Absolutely sickening. Suddenly, she hears a noise outside. She quickly returns the toothbrush and pretends to be innocently changing Bob's sheets. When Bob returns, he notices nothing suspicious and even thanks her. After he leaves, she creepily sniffs the sheets he used. Learning that Bob enjoys watching sports, she spends a fortune installing a TV in the living room, fantasizing about marrying him and having his children. Completely delusional. That evening when Bob returns home, she stands at the door like a waiting wife, but Bob remains oblivious, naively thinking she's just being hospitable. When the thug returns to harass her, Bob witnesses it and warns the guy to leave her alone. When the thug insults Bob's mother, Bob punches him in the face. Watching Bob defend her, the old woman swoons. So manly, so handsome, so perfect. She's convinced he's her soulmate. Despite her infatuation, she has a nightmare that night. We learn her husband physically abused her for over 50 years until his accidental death just 2 weeks ago. She'd stuffed his urn in a drawer, but every time she saw it, she felt fear and rage. Finally reaching her breaking point, she stuffs the urn in a garbage bag and smashes it to pieces on the floor before throwing the remains in the dumpster outside. Just as Bob returns home, she quickly hides, watching as Bob tosses a piece of paper in the same dumpster. After he leaves, she digs through the trash expecting to find something personal, but it's just a bar receipt. Nevertheless, she treasures it, carefully placing it in her diary. In letters to her pen pal, she embellishes stories about her sweet daily life with Bob. As time passes, she grows bolder, calling Bob into the bathroom to hand her a towel, creating an awkward situation. Later, when Bob prepares to go out, she appears dressed in age-inappropriate clothing, asking for a ride into town. Startled by her outfit, Bob quickly makes excuses to refuse. He certainly doesn't want her cramping his style with the ladies. Though she doesn't push it, she later writes to her pen pal, lying that Bob took her for a romantic drive. At dinner, she appears in another gaudy, ill-fitting outfit that makes Bob uncomfortable. Just then, she receives a call from her pen pal Sarah, who's traveling nearby and wants to stay for a few days. The next day, a beautiful woman arrives. It's Sarah. The old woman immediately gushes about Bob, but when Sarah asks specific questions about him, she can't answer. She doesn't know where he's from or what he does for work, only that he often goes out and returns late at night. This immediately piques Sarah's curiosity. That evening, Bob and Sarah meet and are instantly attracted to each other. Late that night, Sarah hears a noise downstairs and finds Bob icing his face after another bar fight. She helps him with the ice. The atmosphere turns intimate, and Bob takes her hand. Their eyes meet. Passion ignites. They